Welcome back to the main Piasic cast. I'm your host, Carson Piasic, and tonight we have a great game coming your way between the Ball Hogs and the Blackfriars. The Blackfriars enter this game 3-1, coming off of a 21-point victory over the Gravediggers, while the Ball Hogs enter this game 2-2, coming off of a loss to the Blackfriars. The most recent matchup between these two teams happened very recently, with the Blackfriars escaping with a 45-44 victory over the Ball Hogs. It's important to note that Garrett was not present for the Ball Hogs in that matchup and instead was replaced by his brother Jacob. But like I said, that game came down to the wire, a 1-point victory for the Blackfriars that actually came down to a game-winning shot made by Nate Briers. Let me show you a clip here of the game-winning shot that was made by Nate. Inbound from Sam Satterwhite at the buzzer to Nate that effectively ended the game as the heave from the Ball Hogs did not fall. Coming into this one, it's going to be very interesting to see how Garrett changes the dynamic of the Ball Hogs. Obviously, Jacob, as we saw, had a very similar play style to Garrett, but Garrett and his connection with those teammates could prove to be the difference here in a game that was just a 1-point difference a week ago. Both of these teams fell to the Scrappers. The Scrappers currently leading the league in the standings, but these two are both right behind the Scrappers, and this game for the Ball Hogs could be a pivotal proving point for the team to show that they belong at the top of the league and could compete for a championship this season. Without further ado, let me get you right to the action here between the Ball Hogs and the Blackfriars. Right away before the tip, we see Garrett having some words with Nate Briers. Nate, of course, as we mentioned, hit that game-winning shot in their previous matchup. And in that game, Nate Briers had 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 blocks, filling up the stat sheet on both ends of the floor. Garrett wins the tip, gives it over to Josh. Josh misses the shot. Of course, today we are at Little Flower. We are not in the normal gym. We've had to move. There is no 3-point line, but there will be 3-point calls made by the refs at the referee's discretion. Joe Keena hits the shot right off the back, and referee Sam Honeycutt calls that a 2-point shot. Ball Hog is coming back. Luke gives it over to his brother Josh. Josh with the step back, gives it back to Garrett. Garrett pulls from 3, no good off back rim, and Garrett is not known to be a fantastic shooter. Lets one go early, trying to set a tone here, and obviously with the size of the Blackfriars, especially Nate Briers down low, it is very difficult to get around him and score well in the paint. You see Steven Keena miss that layup. Garrett coming down the other end, over the hoop and rebounded by Nate Briers, cleared over to Sam Satterwhite. Satterwhite backing up, joining the office, and Sam Satterwhite has been a spectacular addition to the SPBL and has been fantastic for the Blackfriars. Really has transformed the team whose core of Joe Keena and Nate Briers has struggled in past years of the SPBL, but the addition of Sam Satterwhite and the help and experience of Steven Keena has really helped this team to reach the top of the SPBL and really compete with the best of the best. As we saw there, Steven with the and one, but fails to convert on the free throw, cleared by Garrett. Jacob in the first meeting between the two teams had 28 points, 18 rebounds, and 4 assists. That's the type of stat line that you would expect out of Garrett. So you can see that the brothers play very similarly, and we'll see if Garrett can find that same success today versus the Blackfriars. Satterwhite driving in with the reverse layup over Josh Briers. It's a fast start for the Blackfriars, already out to a 6-0 lead over the Ball Hogs. Garrett over to Josh. Josh gives it back. Garrett finds Zach down in the paint and cannot get the layup to go. Sam with the rebound. Sam slow, kind of pushing the tempo here, kicks it up the floor. It's stolen by Garrett, and that's that length of Garrett. Garrett right down to the other side with the layup. His hustle, his defense, his length. It is very hard to stop if you are not constantly watching out for it. And Sam Satterwhite there got a little lazy with that pass. He responds back with a drive to the hoop for an easy two. That makes it an 8-2 ball game. Blackfriars lead. Garrett slowing up the pace. He's got Stephen Keenan guarding him. Stephen has been one of the better defenders of the SPBL. Last year with the Scrappers, he did a fantastic job on defense. He was a great addition for them and helped them to win a title. Now he's hoping to do so with the Blackfriars this year as their primary perimeter defender. Garrett finds Luke for three. Luke misses off back iron. Garrett gets the rebound and cannot hit Luke on the cut out of bounds. You see Garrett's hustle. He is flying around the court, but just is not able to make the play, not able to finish it off. Satterwhite, screen from Steven. Satterwhite goes right in, gets blocked maybe on the defense from Zach. Finds Garrett up the floor. Garrett with the layup, and Steven cannot stop him. That's an and one. Logan calls the foul on Stephen Keenan, Logan Shira, another referee, along with Sam Honeycutt, as mentioned. Third referee is Alan Edeker.
8-4 Friars.
Garrett can go to the line to try to cut this to a 3-point game. Currently 8-4. It's a shot up, no good, but rebounded by Zach. And Zach, he can hustle himself. And you saw in that last play, he might have gotten a block there on Sam. Luke off the screen from Garrett. Spin around, jumper is good. 8-6. And just like that, the Ball Hogs are right back in this one after a 6-0 deficit early. Steven going into the paint, unable to get that layup to go. Bit of a fast shot right away there. Garrett finds Zach. Zach, no good. And couple ill-advised layups back to back there, and another one is Sam tries to take on Garrett. Probably not the man you want to try to go up against, and Garrett now is going up against Nate. Another one, a bunch of layups back to back to back that probably were not the best shot that the offense could have found, but Garrett does get fouled on his, and he is going to the line for 2 free throws. Garrett, despite missing a game this season, he has had a fantastic start to the year in his 3 performances, and he's looking to continue that tonight, potentially on track to win an MVP here this season. He makes the second of the 2 free throws, cutting the lead to 1. Scores 8-7. Blackfriars lead. 3:45 left in the quarter. Sam, pump fakes, finds Joe Kina. Joe with the layup, and it goes in. 10-7, Blackfriars lead, keeping the lead over the Ball Hogs. Now, the Ball Hogs do not have a lot of outside shooting. Josh is a pretty solid shooter. Luke can fill in as needed, but Zach and Garrett don't offer a whole lot, so I'm sure you'll see the Blackfriars kind of sag off in the paint a bit more, trying to help on Garrett. As you can see, Sam right there helps off of Luke onto Garrett. Covers after Garrett found Luke. Luke puts up the 3, no good. Nate Bryce with a rebound. And despite the Ball Hogs shooting woes, they still managed to score a lot of points, and a lot of that comes from the fast breaks generated by Garrett. Whenever they get a rebound, Garrett is off to the races, and he forces a lot of turnovers as well, which lead to fast break buckets. He has a very high motor and a lot of stamina that can really extend late into the games, and you'll see that he starts to separate himself typically late in the games, just as his brother Jacob did against this team not long ago. Blackfriars had the layup, making the score 12-7, Blackfriars lead. Luke with Steven on him, got the switch. Sam was on Garrett, and Garrett was unable to make anything happen as the ball went out of bounds. Looks like they call it off on Luke Briers. Got a timeout. Inbound from Sam Satterwhite over to Steven. Steven finds Nate. Nate hands off to Steven. Steven going into the crowd and gets blocked on the way up. Zach with the rebound. Zach pushing up the floor. As I mentioned, here goes those ball hogs, but he loses it out of bounds. And he'll be right back to the Blackfriars. Zach, like I said, has a lot of hustle, but not necessarily the one you want bringing the ball up. The Blackfriars force him into a tough spot along the sideline, and he loses the ball. Steven with another missed shot. He has really struggled to get him to fall so far today. Luke with the rebound. Luke pushing up the floor. Finds Garrett. Garrett with Steven on him. Screen from Zach. Gets the switch with Joe defending the shot. Airballed from Garrett. And they give it over to Steven, who was out of bounds when he got that pass. So right back to the ball hogs. And Josh for three. No good, but Garrett gets that board right over Steven and misses the putback. A lot of missed shots so far to start this one. Sam with Garrett defending, and Garrett is going to give Sam some fits. Garrett loves to be intense and in your face on defense. As you see, Nate missed the three there. They're willing to live with the threes from Nate and Joe and Steven, but they do not want Sam getting his way on the offensive end, which is why they have Garrett defending him. And Garrett has the motor to do so. You see Sam pull from really deep there. That's about the cleanest look that he can get from three. Steven over to Joe. Joe finds Nate. Nate from three. No good. And Garrett with the board. See Garrett moving up the floor. He's got Joe on him. Goes right by Joe over Nate for the layup. There's one that falls. That makes it a 12-9 game. Blackfriars lead. Sam going on Garrett. Gets help. Garrett gets help from both Zach and Luke. Sam with the turnaround J, no good. A tough shot again. You can see that they're really making things tough for him. Garrett tries to find Luke. Goes off the foot of Nate Briers. I believe they're calling that a kicked ball. 40 seconds left in the first quarter. 12-9 lead for the Blackfriars. Garrett over to Luke. Luke pulls up from three, no good. Cleared out by Nate Briers and given to Sam. Looks like they're going to slow it up, possibly playing all the way to the last possession. But no, he pulls up from a deep three and no good. Josh heaved to end the quarter, no good. And that'll be it for the first quarter. 12-9 Blackfriars lead. And so far you've seen some good offense from the Blackfriars out the gate. Got a hot start, but got stifled the rest of the way. A lot of ill-advised shots, a lot of turnaround tough shots near the hoop from Steven and Sam that have been unable to fall. On the other end, the ball hog's inability to shoot the outside shot has really allowed the Blackfriars to pack it in on defense and has made it tough for them to really get some scoring going. They've gotten a couple fast break points, but definitely not as much as they would like. So they're going to have to try to find ways to force some turnovers and let this thing loose in the full court. Steven starts off the second quarter with a bucket. Garrett finds Luke. Luke going to work on Steven. Luke with that turnaround shot. No good. Garrett with the putback over Sam, and that was just too easy. Not enough contest there. Sam, as Garrett has a sizable advantage in the height, length, and vertical, and Nate Briers was not down there as he had to help off of his man. So Joe Kina pulls up from three, and that is no good. Rebound to Luke. Luke will give it over to Garrett, and Garrett's going to bring this one up the floor. Trailing 14-11 here early in the second quarter. Gives it over to Luke. Luke works around the arc, Looking for Garrett, does not get him. Pulls up from mid-range and no good. Steven ducks out of the way of the rebound, but the Blackfriars end up with it anyways. Garrett almost ended up with that one despite two Blackfriars being in front of him. Ball. Steven ends up, or excuse me, Sam ends up with the ball. Sam looking to drive, but Garrett is right there in his way. Gives over to Nate, who will pull the three, and he will hit the three to take a 17-11 lead. And that is something that the Ball Hogs are going to really need to figure out on defense, as they have a lot of focus on Sam, and they want Nate to be the one to shoot threes over Sam. But if Nate starts hitting, it's going to be a problem for them. And they're going to need to find a way to adjust and stop him from tearing them up on the defensive end. We saw Josh hit that three on the other end of the floor to cut the lead 17-14. First three of the game for the Ball Hogs. Got a foul now on the Ball Hogs. Blackfriars inbounding. You see Garrett all up on Sam, not letting him get anything easy. Joe tries to give it over to Nate, but Nate off his face. Josh tries to find Garrett, stolen by Sam, and Sam will try to take advantage of Garrett being behind him, and it goes out of bounds. And you saw right there, once Sam saw that Garrett was not in the picture, he was full speed ahead, looking to get a bucket if he could, trying to get a clean look without Garrett affecting the shot. Luckily for the Ball Hogs, Luke was able to tip that one out of bounds. Back to the Blackfriars. Down to Nate. Nate with a big size advantage, but unable to get the shot to fall. Garrett going right on the fast break, and the layup no good. Sam, just enough defense there to affect that shot. Garrett shaking his head as he comes back on the court. Steven finds Joe. Joe down to Steven. Steven backing down, gets double teamed, tries to find Joe. Joe brings it back out to Nate. Nate will pull from three again. No good. Sam Satterwhite with a rebound, though. Steven pulls from three. Missed badly. Zach with the rebound. Garrett telling him to slow down. We saw that earlier in the first quarter. Zach bringing that ball up and losing out of bounds. Garrett wanting to make sure that they cherish every offensive possession that they get. Gives it over to Zach. Zach over to Luke. Luke sizing out Sam in the corner. Finds Garrett. Garrett with Steven on him. He's going to try to find a way to work in. Over to Josh. Josh with Nate guarding. Garrett sets the screen. Josh pulls up from three. No good. Tried to hit back-to-back threes. Unable to do so. Sam with the rebound. Sam back to the basket. Garrett defending. Garrett strips Sam. Those long arms right around him. Sam gets the... Oh, and oh, wow. Okay, a lot to unpack right there as Sam stripped Garrett on the way up. It looked like referee Sam Honeycutt was about to call a foul, but he did not. Garrett got the offensive rebound off of his own miss, puts it up, gets the and one as Sam fouls him. So Ball Hogs now down 17-16. Garrett going to the line to tie it up. They have not been tied since it was 0-0, and they are now still not tied. Ball Hogs have not yet led this game. Joe finds Nate. Nate over to Sam. Sam way back, looking to get a shot. Gets Josh onto him. Pulls from three. No good. And Garrett with the rebound. You saw right there, once he got that switch with Josh on him, he tried to find a way to get a good, clean shot. He got a pretty good look from three. It was a bit deep, but he was unable to hit it. Garrett there finds Josh for the layup to take the lead. That is the first lead of the game for the Ball Hogs as the Blackfriars call timeout. Blackfriars ball coming out of the timeout. Steven pass tipped by Zach. You see Josh guarding Nate. Nate has a big height advantage, but he's been unable to really take advantage of it for the most part down in the paint. He has hit a couple threes, though, which have helped the Blackfriars get out to a lead, but Ball Hogs have fought right back and are now in control of the game, up 18-17. Oh, ball to the Blackfriars. Steven goes down right into the paint, gets a layup. Not sure what happened there. It looks like maybe Steven got a steal off the inbound. Josh with the ball. Blackfriars now in the lead, 19-18. Josh dribbles around the arc, trying to find his way into the paint. Deterred by Nate Briers. Nate with 5 blocks last game, or 5 blocks in their last meeting, we mentioned. They're going to want to try to avoid that this time. Luke misses the shot, gets his own rebound, misses again, but Garrett gets the rebound. Garrett misses the shot, asking for a foul on Sam, but does not get one despite his pleading. Blackfriars going down the other way. Got Steven taking it in on Zach. Zach, the good defense, keeping Steven out of the paint. Steven with another fadeaway, unable to fall. Luke guarding Sam. Sam, I'm sure, wants to keep this matchup. Sam pivots, goes around, and unable to get the shot to fall. Zach clears. And you know that every time Sam sees that Garrett is not on him, he wants to make sure that he is able to try to get a shot up against some easier defense. Garrett pulls up from 3, no good. Garrett probably a little winded here at the moment. Don't see him normally pulling up from 3 to start a possession, but felt confident. Steven goes up, misses another layup. Steven has struggled so far trying to get these shots to fall inside. Nate with a running floater. Don't see that very often from Nate. He gets it to go. 2 minutes left in the half. Garrett holding at the top of the key, finds Josh. Josh with Nate on him. Pump fakes, goes right around Nate and misses the layup. He had Nate beat after that pump fake. Nate over committed on that 3. Sam with Garrett defending. Sam trying to go around him. Tries to go into the paint. Garrett's long arms defending any shot attempt. Nate pulls from 3 and hits another 3. Those have been killer for the Ball Hogs so far. And like I mentioned, we're gonna have to see how they adjust going into the second half, as that has been something that the Blackfriars have been relying on offensively to generate some quick points. Garrett finding Zach on the back cut. Zach over to Luke. Luke unable to do anything with it. Looking for a gap inside. Spins around. Finds Garrett on the cut. Garrett with the layup and good. Oh, Zach almost steals it straight out of Nate's hands on the inbound. Steven going right down into the paint. Misses another layup. Steven has really struggled. He's sitting back there on defense, or sitting back there on offense, not even getting back on defense. Garrett going right around. Dribbles off of his foot maybe, but Luke gets the ball and no good on the layup. Garrett asking for anyone to make a layup. It has been tough sledding so far in this game. Both teams can make some fairly easy shots inside. Sam kicks out to Joe. Joe from the corner. They call it a 2. Call it a 2. The corners here are shorter. Probably have to be right up against the sideline for it to be counted as a 3. But that gives the Blackfriars a 26-20 lead here late in the second quarter. After the Ball Hogs timeout, we got Garrett bringing the ball up the floor. He definitely needed a breather there. They needed to regroup here as they had a lead, but very quickly the Blackfriars came back and stormed back to a 6-point lead. And right there, a mental error as Josh stepped on the sideline. Blackfriars ball up 6 late in the second quarter. 7 seconds left. Out of bounds with 4 seconds remaining, and it will be Blackfriars ball. Steven loses it. 3 seconds to go. First half. Gonna see if the Ball Hogs can do anything here. Garrett pushing it up quickly. Pulls from 3. Did he get off in time? It does not matter. It does not go. That is halftime. Blackfriars lead 26-20. And the real difference maker here has been the 3-point shot from Nate Briers. He has hit 3 threes in this one, and the Ball Hogs have only been able to hit 1 3 from Josh. And both teams outside of Nate Briers have been struggling from 3 overall. But those 3s from Nate Briers has really helped the Blackfriars keeping the lead. We're going to see if they do anything differently on defense, as Josh has been the one guarding Nate Briers today. Nate with an easy layup misses it though, and blocked by Luke. Well, did Luke Briars just block Nate? Luke out to Garrett. Garrett finds Zach. Zach on the top of the key, wide open. They're not even going to guard him out there. And Zach knows better than to shoot at this point. Garrett pulls from three and air balls. Garrett shooting the three, not a whole lot better than what would have happened with Zach shooting a three. So Garrett tries to extend the leg out to kick the ball. Nate over to Joe, finds him on the opposite side. What a great pass. Joe unable to finish it. Zach with the rebound. Zach going to bring it up the floor. Garrett running over, trying to get the ball. He does. Garrett going right into the paint. Fouled by Steven Kima. Garrett going to the line for 2 shots early in the third quarter. Neither team has found a way to score yet in this third quarter. We could see the first points here. Garrett puts up the first shot, and it is good. Cuts the lead to 26 to 21, 5-point lead for the Blackfriars. Second shot is no good off the back of the rim. Nate Briars gets the rebound over his teammate Steven. Steven looked like he might have gotten hit on that rebound. He is all good. Sam with the ball. Sam gets a screen from Joe, pulls up from three, and it is good. You give him an inch of space, and he will let that thing fly. And he is the best 3-point shooting guard in SPBL history, the best, highest 3-point percentage in SPBL history. And you really don't want to give him those shots. Garrett goes right in over Steven with the floater off the backboard and good. Garrett, I'm sure he's going to be watching out for those screens as Joe gave him just a little bit of a screen there. He faded just a little bit behind, and Sam was ready to pull up. Steven dribbling in on Zach. Luke tries to go for the steal, but an easy layup there. Garrett or Zach really offering no defense. Zach over to Garrett. Garrett sizing up at the 3-point line, pulls up, no good. Josh with the rebound though. Josh trying to size up. Nate pulls that step back for 3, no good. Couple 3-point attempts there from the ball hogs, neither fall. Sam with the running layup, no good. Josh clears it. Going back on the break, you have Garrett off the floor. He pulls, oh, he does not pull up from 3. The give and go out of bounds off of the Blackfriars. It will be ball hogs ball still. Zach inbounding the ball, finds Josh in the corner. Josh up to Garrett. Garrett sitting at the top of the key. Steven telling him to shoot, daring him to shoot. Garrett does not. Gives it over to Josh. Josh may be the one to shoot. Finds Garrett though. Garrett going into the paint. Finds Josh outside. Nate with those long arms really can get a good contest on Josh. Josh finds Garrett on the roll, but he's not able to corral it. Luke in the corner. Luke does not shoot. Thinks about it. Finds Garrett down low. Steven being physical on defense and fouls him. Garrett tosses the ball back. Steven pointing at him. But Steven was being pretty physical down there. You saw that. They say 4 fouls on Steven. Is that 4 fouls? You got to be careful. He is being very physical with Garrett. Garrett with the short pull-up jumper from mid-range, and it is good. You don't see him shoot a lot of jump shots, but he'll take it whenever he can get one to fall. Sam thought about pulling up there for a second from about 30 feet. Instead, he starts to drive in. Stops. Gives out to Steven. Steven finds Joe in the short corner. Joe out to Nate. Nate, he can pull from there, but takes a couple dribbles over to the corner. Pulls up on a runner from mid-range off the mark. Garrett pushing up the floor. Finds Josh. Josh looking over to Garrett on the ground. Garrett looks to be okay. Resetting the offense here. Luke going in. Luke with the runner. No good, but gets his own rebound. They do not call a foul. He goes to the ground. No travel either. Interesting no call there from the refs. Figured there'd be either a travel or a foul call, but we had a timeout from the ball hogs instead while Luke was on the ground.
That's from last game. I want to see this.
Garrett leaning up against the
Could've handed me the joint.
bleachers here. You can tell he's probably a bit winded. We got a nice shot of Neil right in front of us. Neil Sanity making an appearance in the Ball Hogs Blackfriars game. Neil has had some fantastic games in himself. He is fresh off of an upset victory over the Scrappers. Wow, what a fantastic sequence there from the Ball Hogs. You saw Josh over to Garrett, who tipped it right back to Luke for the layup.
3 minutes, 31-27 Friars.
3.5 minutes left in the quarter. Sam down to Steven. Steven with the turnaround jumper, no good. Garrett with the rebound. Garrett not going to push it too fast here.
31-27.
31-27 Blackfriars lead, courtesy of Carson Braswell. Josh with the pull-up from three, no good. Garrett tips it out. What a fantastic hustle play from Garrett. Luke with a three, no good. And it is cleared by Sam. Sam has a lot of rebounds himself this game. Sam over to Joe. Joe on the wing, pulls up, does not shoot it. Garrett kind of overcommitted on that steal attempt, was unable to get it, but gets the block on Sam. The recovery and the block, gets the rebound, finds Josh on the fast break. Josh going to turn around and put it up, and it goes. 31-29, you see Commissioner Chris over there in the sideline. Taking a look here at the rims, I believe he's checking to verify the height of these rims. Seems like one of the sides might not be 10 feet, but both teams had to play each side, so both teams had any advantage or disadvantage that would come with a different rim. Rob over on the sideline assisting Chris with his deliberations. Josh up to Garrett. Garrett at the top.
2 minutes.
2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Josh driving in the paint, gets the floater, no good. Zach with the rebound, though. No one wanted that board except for Zach. Zach misses the runner. That is very Zach-esque play, as you saw him hustle for that board. No one else was going for it. Tries to put up the runner and falls short. Nate outside with the ball. Finds Sam. Sam with Josh on him. I'm sure Sam wants to take advantage of this. Pulls up from three. No good. Running instantly for the rebound, but Zach is there. Kicks it out to Josh. Josh going to push the tempo here. Josh with Nate on him. No good. But Garrett with the putback.
31-0. Minute 15.
Nate shaking his head on that one. He was hoping to get a stop and a rebound, but Garrett was right there. Sam misses the runner. Finds a way to get his own rebound and kick it out to Steven. Steven gets blocked by Garrett. No foul call there. I'm sure Steven was wanting one. A little bit of body contact, but not enough for the refs to call it. Sam finds Joe way deep. Someone said shoot it, but he does not. He instead goes in for the layup, and it's good with the foul. The foul on Luke. Luke saying that Joe leaned into him. Might have done it a little bit, but he still got the layup to go regardless. He's going to get a free throw to tack onto it. Garrett not down there for a rebound. Instead, he's going to have Josh trying to box out Nate. And Nate almost got that tip out. Luke with the rebound, though. Luke pushing it down the floor over to Garrett. Garrett looking back to Luke. Luke puts it up. No good. Garrett tips it out back to Luke. Luke again. No good. Luke gets the ball back. Gives it to Garrett. And Garrett will finally get it to go.
33-0.
Just a very Ball Hogs-esque sequence there. Josh with the strip on Steven. Josh pulls up from three. No good. Sam with the rebound. Steven was a little lackadaisical there with the handle. Sam going right into the paint. Kicks it back up to Joe. Joe gives it over to Sam. Sam driving into the paint. Tries to get a turnaround, does not have any room there with Garrett guarding. Kicks out to Nate for three again. That was his first 3-point attempt here of the second half, coming late in the third quarter here. Final seconds here of the third quarter. Sam from deep with the step back. 3 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Garrett's going to throw up to Josh. Josh from three, no good. What a shot from Sam. Sam clearly tired now, 3 quarters in, but what a shot he just made to give the Blackfriars an extended lead here going into the fourth quarter. Ball Hogs really need to find a way to get this one back into their control. They pull up for a lead very briefly when it was 18-17, but I've had no luck since then, as the Blackfriars have held the lead for almost the entirety of the game, except for that brief moment. Nate sitting on the ball, and he will pull again. No good. Ball will bounce out of bounds, and it will be Ball Hogs ball. That three from Sam was the only 3-pointer made in that third quarter, coming in the final seconds. A deep, deep step back from Sam Satterwhite. Apologies, he did make one earlier off the screen from Joe Kina. Josh with the turnaround, no good. Zach finds Josh. Josh puts up the mid-range shot, no good, but Zach gets another rebound. The rebounding between Zach and Garrett cannot be overstated. Teams really need to find them and box them out because they will give their team a lot of extra chances on the offensive end, which is what this team needs. As a team that does not shoot a super high percentage from the floor, getting a lot of extra chances really makes up for that. Garrett going to work, finds Zach. Zach, deep three from Josh. Josh, no good. Sam with the board. Sam finds Steven. Steven, no good on the layup. Garrett gonna get the board. Push it up to Luke. Luke gives it right back to Garrett. No good, and it is blocked by Nate. Sam with the board. Sam gonna push it back up the floor. Got a 2-on-3 here. He goes to work on Josh. He sees that Garrett wasn't on him, and he goes right to work on Josh Briars. Sam with another bucket. Garrett probably shaking his head here. Shaking his head a bit at the fact that he was not there on defense to defend that bucket from Sam. Garrett pulls up from three. 2-2. No three, according to Sam Honeycutt, head referee. 2-pointer from Garrett, but a nice pull-up jumper from him. He's had a couple of those now. Sam, another really deep three. No good. Right away, he was running for that rebound. Did they call a foul? They did call a foul. Sam was hustling for that board. He knew right away that it was off, but unable to get the rebound and instead got a foul. Garrett gets the ball. Gonna bring this one up slowly. Garrett pulls up from three, no good. Over to Zach. Zach to Josh. Josh working inside, no good. Sam with the rebound. Sam bringing it up. Sam over to Nate. Nate looking for Steven. Steven with Zach on him. Steven finds Joe in the corner. Joe, no good. Zach with the board. Zach up to Josh. Josh with the ball. Steps back. He's looking for a three. Finds, no, he does not. Nate with a steal. The weak pass, but Garrett hustles back right behind Nate and gets the ball right back to the Ball Hogs. That is the danger of Garrett Brooks. Josh tries to put the shot up, no good. Sam coming back the other way, pulls up another deep three, no good, and he gets his own rebound. Sam, whenever he sees that three is not going in, he knows it, and he hustles for that board. Garrett going the other way, the easy layup with Joe on defense. Steven looked like he tried to get a steal there, but got caught, and instead let up an easy layup for Garrett over Joe. Sam looking down low for Steven. Tipped and out of bounds, but it will stay with the Blackfriars. just over 4 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Tipped by Zach back out of bounds. Remains with the Ball Hogs, or excuse me, remains with the Blackfriars.
Just like sit back.
Referee Logan Shira had to go outside to get that ball. Joe with the ball in the corner finds Nate. Nate sizing up Josh. Josh trying to get physical. Nate backing him down, tries to pass it off. Gets foul. No foul. No foul call. Looked like they were going to call a foul there as Luke tried to strip Nate, but instead they were able to find the wide open Joe Kina for the easy layup. So 2 points for the Blackfriars. Ball Hogs ball after the timeout. Zach bringing the ball up the floor, gives it over to Garrett. Garrett into Josh. Josh with the runner in the middle of the lane, and good. Steven over to Sam. Sam with the ball. Sam looking for a deep three, does not take it. Gives it down to Nate. Nate gives it back over to Sam. Sam, top of the key, getting a screen from Nate with Zach defending. Zach, instead of Garrett, goes up on Zach and in for the layup. It seems like so many of his points have come when Garrett is not defending him. But obviously we have mentioned Garrett's stamina, but going all out on defense, trying to defend Sam, as well as being the engine of the offense that has a lot of requirements and pretty tough to do both for the entirety of a game. The Ball Hogs might just need him to do that here if they want to escape with a win. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Garrett, top of the key, gives it down to Josh. Thought about the give and go. Instead, Josh pulls it out. Screen from Garrett. Josh going in on Steven. Out to Zach. Zach gives over to Garrett. Garrett going in. Gives it out to Josh. Josh from three. A whistle blew. Seems like they called a foul somewhere in there as Garrett began to drive. So it'll be Ball Hogs ball from the sideline. No three from Josh. In fact, that three earlier from Josh is still the only three for the Ball Hogs so far, as another pull-up jumper for Garrett. Sam from deep, no good. Josh with the ball. Josh gives it over to Luke. Luke handling it. Winding down here in the fourth quarter. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Garrett pulls up from the... Oh, man.
What score? 43-42
43-42
Hogs.
Ball Hogs. That is the first lead since 18-17 for the Ball Hogs. They have fought back on the back of Garrett, who's been going to work in this fourth quarter. Back-to-back mid-range jumpers for Garrett. Joe pulling up from three. No good. Garrett with a rebound. Garrett is going to go back right at him. Garrett, defended by Steven, gives it over to Luke. Luke looking for his brother Josh. Josh giving it right back to Garrett. Got a little weave action going here. Trying to waste some time. Garrett pulls up from three. No good. He's a bit of a heat check there, but Zach with the offensive rebound gives it right back to Garrett, who does it again. No, but tipped out by Josh. And that is what these Ball Hogs do. They give themselves extra chances. It does not matter if they miss 4 shots in a possession. They will keep going for that board and try to get more. Finally, the Blackfriars clear with the rebound. Sam gives it over to Steven, but misses the layup. Sam gets the board. Gets the pass tipped by Josh. Gets the ball back. Sam going to work on Garrett, trying to get a score in here. Hey, gets the layup to go over Garrett. Sam on a heater right now in this fourth quarter. It is Sam versus Garrett down the stretch. Both of them making plays for their teams over and over again. 44-43, Blackfriars in the lead. We're winding down here in this fourth quarter. Ball Hogs in desperate need of a bucket. We have a very good idea of who they're going to go to for this one. Garrett has had a monster day so far for the Ball Hogs, but can he cap it off with a win? 30 seconds left. Luke with the and one. Wow. We thought that they were going to go to Garrett, but instead, Luke goes straight into the paint, gets the bucket with the foul, gives him a 1 point lead. Free throw here, potentially to extend it to 2 points. Luke misses the free throw. Nate with a rebound gives the Blackfriars a chance. Tipped out by Garrett. Garrett asking them to give him the ball still, but they will not. Blackfriars with the ball, 21 seconds to go. Need a bucket, down by one. Steven with the ball. Garrett all over Sam, not letting him get anything. They call timeout. I'm sure they're going to want to try to draw something up here. Probably either for Sam or Nate. Now we will say, I showed you at the beginning of this broadcast, Nate Briers hit a game-winning shot for the Blackfriars against the Ball Hogs in the Ball Hogs' most recent game. Blackfriars haven't had a game since then, but it is still fresh in everybody's minds. Nate with a big height advantage here. Could we see them go back to that down in the paint with Nate for an easy two? Sam drawing it up here for the Blackfriars in the timeout. Giving a lot of direction to Steven here. I wonder what we're going to see here from Steven potentially.
And the pink team has 130. I thought I just really White ball. 13 seconds. Here we go.
13 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter for the Blackfriars. They find Sam at the top of the key. Sam with Garrett defending. Gonna go one-on-one with Sam. 8 seconds left. Sam going right in. Gets double team. Tries to look for Nate. Instead he finds, no, he was trying to find Steven in the middle. Ball got tipped, but jump ball. All Hogs almost stole it there. Had the steal for a second, but Sam fought back in there for a jump ball. Both refs agree. And it is Blackfriars ball off the jump ball.
Hey, whoever gets the ball on 2 seconds.
3 seconds. Oh, excuse me. Not Blackfriars ball off the jump ball. We are doing a live jump ball here. 3 seconds left. Test jump there from Logan. 3 seconds left. Sam with the height advantage gives it to Steven. Steven puts up the shot. They called timeout though. Sam called timeout before the Steven 3-point attempt. What a call from Sam. What a smart heads-up play. Steven was going to put up a 35-footer for the win. Came up about 10 feet short. But timeout gives him a new life here. We got 2 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Blackfriars down 1. Very similar situation to what they experienced, but I think they're going to be inbounding from the sideline here, if I'm not mistaken, based on where Steven was at that timeout call. If they were inbounding from the baseline, of course, last time we saw the baseline inbound right into Nate Briers for the easy 2 for the win. Do the Blackfriars have the magic in them again for another last-second victory over the Ball Hogs, which would be a heartbreak for the Ball Hogs?
Hold on. Somebody be the buzzer.
One last possession for the Blackfriars to win the game. Here we go. Garrett all up in Sam's face. Sam finds a clean look. No good. Sam actually waved it off and said that the shot was not up in time. And the Ball Hogs will escape with the victory over the Blackfriars. A 1-point thrilling victory coming down to the wire. That last shot you saw, Sam get the ball at the top of the key, pump faked, got Garrett up in the air, but unfortunately the pump fake took just too much time. He was unable to get the shot off, and the Ball Hogs prevail on the back of Garrett, who had a monster night with 30 points, 21 rebounds, 6 assists. He shot 14 for 29 from the floor, including a few jumpers in there, which we do not normally see from him. He did not hit a three. He was 0 for 5 from the arc, but the Ball Hogs did make one three on the night. They went 1 for 17 from deep. The 1 3, as we mentioned, coming from Josh Briers earlier in the game. Josh also contributed to the Ball Hogs with 9 points of his own. Luke with 6 points, and Zach was held scoreless. But Zach only attempting 4 shots on the game. That's what you typically see out of him. Not necessarily the high scorer, but he'll give you effort elsewhere. He came away with some very clutch rebounds, coming away with 13 rebounds on the game. Just a great performance overall from the Ball Hogs. On the other side of things, the Blackfriars were obviously led by Sam Satterwhite, who had 16 points, but he did shoot 7 for 22, including 2 of 9 from three. Not the most efficient night on the floor from Sam Satterwhite, but he did come away with 18 rebounds of his own. A career high in rebounds for Sam Satterwhite. 16 points, 18 rebounds, and 7 assists. Also had 2 steals and 2 blocks. Filled up the stat sheet all over the place. Nate contributed with 10 points and 12 rebounds. And then Steven had 10 points, or excuse me, Steven had 8 points and Joe with 10 to round out the scoring for the Blackfriars. Overall, a very back and forth game. Blackfriars led for a majority of it. We saw the Ball Hogs come up with a slightly in the second quarter, 18-17. Didn't lead again until late in the game in the fourth quarter on the back of a few fantastic plays from Garrett, and the rest of the Ball Hogs also chipped in very nicely. The game-winning shot ended up coming from Luke Briers on that take with 30 seconds left. Got the and one, unable to get the free throw to fall, but it did not matter as the Ball Hogs were able to get a stop on defense to end the game. What a fantastic game we saw. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the Blackfriars won that last meeting by 1 point by a score of 45-44. This game comes away with the Ball Hogs winning by a score of 45-44. The only difference in the game, Garrett was playing instead of his brother Jacob. So we can see here both these teams have been fantastic throughout the season. They are both very clearly evenly matched up, and there's a good chance we see them playing against each other in the playoffs, as Scrappers have a lead in the standings over both of them after having beat each of them. We have a very high likelihood of seeing these two teams as the 2 and the 3 seed, with both of them having beaten every other team on the schedule. All of the other 2 teams, I should say, the Gravediggers and the Mystics. That'll be all for us tonight from the main Diasacast. We thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you again for our next game on the docket, which will be between the Scrappers and the Gravediggers. What a fantastic night of SPBL basketball. We hope to see you again with us soon. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.